and you were having a low sugar attack because I'm not sure what tell that story, or not maybe the story, but what caused that? Because you were having spells where your son found you one time, mom or dad found you one time, and we're talking ambulance rides. We're talking you're almost dead because your sugar was low.
Right.
If you're a diabetic and your sugar's going up, why was it low? Explain that one.
Well, I'd already started going downhill, so I wasn't able to work.
Right.
But I wasn't on dialysis yet. My kidneys were still functioning somewhat.
Okay.
And I got on government insurance, and they helped me get an insulin pump. And they use a stronger insulin in that, and we were trying to get it to where I'm not getting too much, but I'm getting enough right. And at that time, my doctor started high instead of low, and I was getting way too much insulin. And there's a couple of times I'm lucky that Mom was going to the bathroom to hear me calling her from upstairs because I was stuck between the king bed and the wall.
Right.
With my face full of glucose tablets, trying to get my sugar up. And my dad would have to come up and get me.
Right. And then didn't Sean, your son, found you one time and went and got Grandma?
Mom broke her ankle. I had another low sugar spell, so I was in the front room on the floor, and there was we're both useless, So there's a couple of times when I was lucky there were people around that if they weren't, I probably would have bottomed out and died right then and there.
I do remember an incident where you said you were hungry. You felt your sugar was low. It was you, Mom, and myself. And you said, I got to get something to eat. So we went into Taco Bell, and we didn't get food in you quick enough, and you passed out. I was trying to get you to the vehicle.
Yeah, I couldn't drink anything.
Yeah.
It
was terrible.
Right out of my mouth.
It's crazy, yeah. All right, so those are some of the symptoms you can look forward if you're not disciplined with taking care of your diabetes.
Yeah, that's just.
All right, now move more to the future. You got a double transplant.
Double transplant.
All right, explain that, and how long ago was that?
Well, I think it was about 3.5 years of being on dialysis and losing some friends that were on dialysis. My number came up to get a transplant, a double transplant. I was a candidate for a pancreas and a kidney, which means that I wouldn't be a diabetic anymore.
Explain why you had to be a double.
Because I was a type 1 diabetic, and it'd make it easier to take care of myself.
Right, and they won't give you just kidneys because you still need a pancreas.
I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I just know they said I was eligible, and I said I was going to go for it.
All right.
Plus, it moved me up on the list a little bit faster.
Oh, did it? Explain the double transplant, what you got, and then everything from there on, the goods, the bads, and the uglies, or whatever.
I would say, like I said, 3.5 years after my number came up for a kidney and a pancreas transplant.
Oh, wait, before we go into that, I want them to show them on your hand what you had put in as a dialysis, your wrist. Show them this.
This is just the scarring.
Explain that again. You gotta hold on.
Can you see it pretty good?
No, let me put the camera down. Let me zoom in. Okay, we see that. Now, what's that called?
It's just a scar. Now,
Okay.
they had put a fistula in. They take two veins, put them together, and it makes it pump a lot harder, so it's easier to filter out your blood from toxins like potassium. And it looks like one giant nasty scar, but what they actually are, because the needles are so big that they have to use, it's literally thousands and thousands of needle holes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so they put two veins together because of the pressure of dialysis. Otherwise, your veins would just collapse. They couldn't take it over years.
Now mine's clogged up. They could get it working again if they take the clot out, but since I don't need dialysis, they're just leaving it. But it's a sensitive spot.
So they do that because they know you're going to be on dialysis for a long time, and that's better than any other way, or?
There's different kinds.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that they chose for me.
Okay.
I started out with 2 tubes in my neck.
Right, I remember that.
And then they moved it to my chest, and then they put the fistula in.
Okay. All right. Okay, now go back to your transplant now.
Yep, I had a kidney and pancreas. Both had to be from the same person, so I'm assuming that that person had a car accident or something and passed away. So I'm thankful for that they were organ donors. Almost right away, after the surgery, as soon as they do the surgery, they put you on immune suppressants, and instantly I was getting infections from the surgeries. So that alone kept me in the hospital, and they can't sew you back up because otherwise it would look like this little line down my stomach. But I got about a 2-inch wide line that's about 2 inches deep, and as you can testify, it's not a pretty sight.
Right.
And it's caused because they couldn't re-sew me back up from the infections. So
Right. How many times did they go in? Can you recall?
I lost count around 13.
13 times. Because you had to go back because of
Yep,
infections
from
and
infections. It mostly caused from the pancreas. That's why they never do pancreases by themselves.
oh really?
They get traumatized and they secrete some kind of ooze enzymes, and it causes infections.
Okay.
And I ended up losing about an inch of my intestines from that. And
Yep, I remember that.
and because of that, the scarring twisted the intestines, and so I had to be opened up for that, and they had to untwist them again. And that's just the surgeries alone where you're knocked out. That's not counting the stuff like having angio tubes shoved clear up your nose while you're awake. And that goes down into your stomach. That's just
Painful.
the last time they did it, about the next day I told them they had to take it out because at the very best it's feels like you're choking. So I would literally spend weeks and weeks with those in my nose.